Okay. Okay, you have to refer to your textbook also,
Okay.
Okay, what is the audit planning? Okay, last class, okay, I touched also, okay, when you, okay, the objective of you to perform the risk assessment is actually for you, to help you, okay, to determine the nature
Astaghfirullah. Aku dah tahu.
and
No, don't. Astaghfirullahalazim.
extent of audit procedure that you are going to use it in the audit planning. So the first step that you have done, so I will share the screen. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Right, okay, good. Okay, what we have done previously, so I always use the timeline for yesterday we had on days of audit. So the first and the second. Okay, and anyone can share me? Katin Sharina, what is the phase one? Sharina, listen my question or not? Do you hear my question?
Interim audit.
Katin?
Interim audit.
Huh? Yes, number one refer to yesterday we have discussed, right? We have two audit timing. Okay, 1 and 2. So the first one is called Karina, I can't.
Hello? Ya? Ya, saya. Ya.
Okay,
Hello?
others, Amelia, what is the audit timing for number one?
Interim audit ke, madam?
Internal.
Interim.
No, audit timing. Interim. Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, good. Interim audit. Okay, say it clearly maybe I tak dengar. Okay, I dengar internal but you say interim. Okay, second one? Second is what?
Final audit. Oh, sorry.
Final.
Final. Final audit. Okay. So, okay, final audit. So this is audit timing. Okay, so yesterday, okay, we are, okay, risk assessment timing, okay, risk assessment and audit planning, risk assessment, okay, and audit planning. Okay. So when you are going to do the risk assessment and the audit planning, is it interim audit or final audit? Interim audit, yes, good. So you have to do it during the interim audit. So risk assessment, okay, is come first after you make after you finish the 4 step and okay, we have the pre-planning and audit planning. Okay, so in the planning, we divide it into two. What you have done in the pre-planning is you do the risk assessment. Okay, where you have to understand the client business and industry. Okay, you have to determine the level of risk, the maturity level, and so on. And then you have to evaluate whether the information is significant or not. The misstatement is significant or not. Then after you determine all the things, okay, you start do your audit planning. Okay, because audit planning will focus on the audit
Dia pergi
strategy
dengan Bank College nanti. Okay.
and audit planning itself. Okay, who remember what is the audit strategy? The auditor will focus on what criteria? There are yes, scope. Some more? Scope.
Direction.
Second.
Hello, Mi?
After that, before direction.
Time.
Dengan
Timing.
college punya tu.
Okay, so scope, timing and direction. So this is audit strategy. So audit strategy comes first. After that, okay, from the scope, timing and direction, the auditor have focus on the significant area, okay, ataupun area of possible material misstatement. Okay, misstatement. Then the auditor
Marker siap-siap. Mana boleh marker siap-siap?
okay, enhance the test by doing the audit planning. So what are the 3 criteria for audit planning?
Okay. Macam ni.
Tapi ingat 3 criteria of audit planning. The first one start with
Baik.
N.
Salah.
Anyone remember?
Nature.
Yeah, good. Nature. Second,
Timing.
timing. The last one,
Extent.
procedure. Okay. So today we are focused on these 2. Okay, audit strategy and audit planning.
Structure, timing, extent of audit planning.
So-
Sabar.
Okay, we will look at today on the audit planning. Okay, so we have to look at on the intro and aims of audit planning or purpose of audit planning. Audit team. Okay, what is the audit team member? So this I think we have discussed a little bit before. Okay, audit planning and use the work of others. So we have to look at expert, to use the experts and technique. So as an auditor, okay, we have to use and when you test the transaction, okay, as I said, okay, you based on the reasonable assurance, so you have to perform the sampling. And all the results will be located in the audit documentation. So for the audit planning today, we will focus on the audit strategy and audit plan. So you have to identify and explain the need for planning and audit. So this is a knowledge. Okay, identify and describe the content of the overall audit strategy and audit plan. So this is more detailed. So you need to have a skill on that. Okay, explain the use of analytical procedure. So analytical procedures in planning. So as I said earlier, okay, you must perform analytical procedure at the planning stage and at the review stage. Okay, so today we look at on the planning stage first. And then describe the general planning issue. So what are the issue? which affect the information technology, okay, and on audit procedures, and explain the role of audit program and the advantages and disadvantages of using a standard audit program. So you have the words, the terms of audit program.
Oi, ada skills.
Okay. So yesterday we have also cover on how you are going to respond to the assess of risk. Okay, assess of risk. So you have overall response. So when you have overall response, so you have to incorporate with the audit strategy. Okay, and you have another response. Okay, you have to perform a detailed test. Okay. So, and when you focus on the audit strategy, since it's relate with the scope, timing, and the direction, so you have to choose the audit staffing. Okay, and also look at if you are not competent to perform. If the audit team is not competent to perform, okay, you might have to use the expert. Okay. And in this topic also, you will be introduced with the computer assisted audit technique, CAT. Okay, so to run or to test the to test the system. Okay, whether you are going to test the system of control or you are going to test the substantive item. Okay, and then you have to develop the audit plan, perform the audit sampling, and record your result in audit documentation. Okay. So now we go one by one on the audit planning. So for the audit planning, okay, you have to refer to ISA 300.4, 300.4 or 300. So the objective, okay, this is the objective of the audit planning. Okay, sekejap
Jumpa. Ayam masak lemak dah habis. Aku minus.
Okay, sorry for the interruption.
Rendang.
Okay, today we continue with the audit planning. So why you need to plan? Okay, why you need to plan? So the objective of the auditor to plan the audit so that it will be performed in the effective manner. So as common things, okay, when you do the planning, okay, so you will get something be effective. So same also to the auditor. When the auditor perform their audit process in the effective manner. So this is happen in the interim audit. And they perform when they do the audit planning in a good in a good step. So it will help the auditor to have the effective audit when they do the final audit letter. So that is the meaning of the benefit of having the audit planning according to the ISA. Okay, and then what is audit strategy? Audit strategy set the scope, timing and direction of the audit and guides the development of the more detailed audit plan. So the audit strategy comes first, okay, and followed by the audit planning. Okay, what is the audit strategy? The key planning document. So audit strategy is the key planning document. So what are the areas that you are covered in the audit strategy? Okay, so look at the timetable for reporting, key dates and statutory obligation. So this is the timetable for reporting. Means that when you have been appointed as an auditor, okay, when you are going to submit your report, okay, to the board of directors. Okay, so that is meaning that is come under audit strategy, not audit planning. So timetable for reporting. So in this case here, okay, so when you have been appointed, okay, let's say you have been appointed here on 1st March, okay, 2020, let's say. So you are going to report, okay, the financial statements year end starting from 1st January 2020, okay, up to 31st December 2020. Okay, so you are appointed here. Let's say you are the new auditor, replacing the existing one. Okay, new auditor. So remember what you have to look at. You have to look at whether the you have to check back what you have learned before. So when you have been appointed, you must be appointed in the AGM. Okay, you have to look at the ethical clearance, ethical issue, okay, of the appointment. Okay, and then is there any when you accept the appointment, is there any ethical issue relating to the fundamental principles? Okay, and then whether the appointment, the ethical clearance, okay, the ethical clearance, okay, because you are changing in professional appointment. Okay, the ethical clearance is followed, is complied. Okay, so these are all the appointment as a new auditor. Okay, once you have been appointed, there is no issue, all ethical clearance is okay and so on. So you have to start do your and you submit the letter of engagement. So that's the first step you have to do when you appointed as an auditor. So ini kita dah cover chapter 2 and chapter 3. Okay. Ada kilas. Okay, so you have issue the letter of engagement. So once you have issued the letter of engagement, So you have start to do your audit risk assessment and audit planning kat sini during the interim audit. Okay, interim audit. So what should you do is you have to do the risk assessment procedure.
Pukul 2.
Okay, because you are a new auditor, risk assessment procedure including the overall response. So if let's say you are a new auditor, so you have to perform TOC as well as the substantive test, okay, at the early stage. And after you get all the information regarding the risk assessment, whether the risk is high or not, okay, then you focus second part on the audit strategy.
Second part.
Okay. When actually you already know when you are required to submit a report. So you have to put in your overall audit strategy kat sini, okay, these things. Okay, the timetable for reporting, key dates and statutory obligation. Okay, what are the Companies Act said on the reporting procedures. So that is the first one. The second, reporting framework and scope of the audit. Okay, reporting framework. Which FRS the company follow? Okay. Initial maturity level. Okay, initial maturity level you have set in your risk assessment here. Okay, you dah set kat sini. Kat dalam ni ada maturity level. Okay, what should you do is you just put in the document. So what is your initial maturity level? Is it 20,000 for non-current asset? So you have to set in your audit strategy. Ni time reporting
Berapa persen kan?
period.
Persen.
Okay, the timetable. Next, preliminary risk assessment. Yang ni you buat this one. Risk assessment ni preliminary. So that's why risk assessment earlier. Because when you do the final audit, okay, here final audit, you might incur some risk also. Okay, you might have other risks that you identify during your audit test. So that is called risk during the audit. Okay, not preliminary. Preliminary is during the interim audit. Okay. And then audit team members and skill required. Okay, audit team members. So dia comprises of audit partner, audit manager and so on. Arrangement for directing, supervising and reviewing the work of audit team members. So this is all done by the audit manager. Okay, so must have a scope of audit manager. If the company does not, if the audit firm does not have the audit manager, so this work goes to partner. Okay, so put in the audit strategy. Consider the needs for service of expert. If the audit team does not have enough knowledge regarding the activities of the company, okay, so you have to consider to use expert, okay, for your audit. Location of the client premises and travel accommodation requirement. So this is the case where company have more than one premises. So you have to make an arrangement, okay, with the client. So which premises you want to go for audit? So normally it has been set up in the LOE. So dah ada dalam LOE. Okay, so you just confirm it, put it under audit strategy. So that are all the things required by the audit strategy. Okay, so why it is important? You have to know, okay, which one is under audit strategy, which one is under audit planning. Okay, maybe the question may come up, okay, which are not the audit strategy. Okay, so you kena tahulah. And any question on this one? On the audit strategy?
No.
No, okay, clear So audit plan converts the audit strategy into a more detailed plan and includes the nature, timing and extent of audit procedures to be performed by engagement team members in order to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence to reduce audit risk to an acceptably low level. So this is audit risk model equals to inherent risk times control risk times detection risk. So, since you already know, okay, the level of risk of material misstatement. Okay, so if the risk of material misstatement is high, so you have to detail your audit test. Okay, so you have to reduce the detection risk. So means when you reduce the detection risk, okay, you have to put more or you have to perform more audit procedures. Okay, when you perform more audit procedures, okay, you have to gather more audit evidence. Okay, when you gather more audit evidence, your audit risk level will be set at a acceptably low level. So this is called, this is called what kind of relationship?
Inverse.
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 Ya,
Okay,
terbaik
good.
Amin.
Inverse relationship between risk of material misstatement and detection risk. So dekat sini lah
Tak, bila
penting
tak,
ni,
all
kenapa
set
audit
sampai
planning
sini.
tu penting. Because you need to know, okay, the extent of audit procedures. So when you perform the audit, okay, in the final audit ni, okay, so you have to focus regarding your audit planning ni. Okay, regarding your audit planning. Okay, the third part is audit planning.
Alhamdulillah.
So extent of audit procedures. Extent of audit procedures. Okay. So kalau extent of audit procedures ni nak detail on inventory. So inventory, so you kena fokus untuk inventory. Perform more audit evidence on inventory. Okay. So this is practical alert so what is in terms of the practical you need to know is implement internal or external audit procedure is about demonstrating your competency in conducting internal or external audit assignment. So you must be able to differentiate if you are work as an internal auditor, what risk assessment you are going to do. Okay, if you work as external auditor, what risk assessment you are going to do. Okay, to achieve this objective, you need to demonstrate your role in the creation of audit plan. So, okay, you must play a role. Okay, to demonstrate to plan the audit, and careful reading of the following section should provide you with a great understanding of the important role that planning plays in auditing. So means when you involve in the audit, so you must put yourself, okay, if you involve in the as the internal auditor, okay, how you are going to plan your audit. So ada internal audit planning. Okay, internal audit planning. Okay, if you work as a team of external auditor, Okay, external auditor. So you have also audit planning. Okay, so both must have the planning. So when you are going to look at, you can remember in the chapter of internal auditor, okay, external auditor can use the work of internal audit by doing certain assessment. So if you want to know how the internal audit competency, so you can look at how they prepare their internal audit planning. So you will see uh, the due care of their audit work. Okay. And then when the auditor plan, okay, so this audit planning, audit needs to be planned to ensure that, okay, appropriate attention is developed to the important area of the audit. Okay, important areas of the audit. Okay, macam kita dah belajar dalam case before this on the case study where the company having the problem in the inventory. So means that is the focus area, important area to be investigated. Okay, on the inventory. Okay, that is the meaning of appropriate attention is devoted to the important area of the audit. So means you must able to understand the
Dia malam takut tak tidur lah.
client's industry. Okay, you must be able to understand the client's industry clearly. Okay, and then potential problem are identified and resolved on a timely basis. So mean on a timely basis, not wait until the end of the period. Okay, so if let's say it happen, okay, on close to the end, okay, let's say it is happen on September, okay, so it should be cleared on September. That is mean on the timely basis. Work is completed effectively and efficiently. So more effective and efficient. Appropriate staff are engaged in the audit team and the proper tasks are assigned to the members of the audit team. So regarding the audit team, okay, you can make the planning. So how regarding their scope, timing and direction tadi. So berapa, how many staff would you allocate to perform that kind of audit? Okay, and what category of staff? Is it is a very competent staff, highly skilled staff, okay, to perform the audit. Okay, and then assisting with the direction and supervision of the audit team and review their work. So in the case of Joe Price, okay, yang company Brown Co tu, Joe Price and Amelia, so Joe Price must always supervise, okay, the work done by Amelia Okacha, tak salah saya. Lepas tu then, okay, why? Because they want to perform more effective and efficient audit, especially in the important area. Yeah, and then assist with the coordination of work done by expert. So kita akan tengok who they have two expert here, auditors expert and management expert. So you have to coordinate the work of expert. Okay, and then after you do a planning, so you have ensure that you will get all these things. Then you should discuss the audit procedure with the management. Okay, audit procedure should be discussed with the client management, staff or audit committee in order to coordinate audit work, including that of internal audit. However, all the audit procedure remain the responsibility of the external auditor. So you may discuss the procedure with the management, staff and audit committee to coordinate the work. But the responsibility to set the good audit procedure is still under responsibility of external auditor. So you cannot actually ask the management to set the audit procedure for you. Okay. So a structured approach to planning will include the following stage. So what is the structured planning? Okay, audit planning is very important. So you must updating knowledge of the client and assess risk. Okay, updating knowledge of the client. So your knowledge must be current. Okay, according to the new situation of the company and according to the new economic situation, okay, of that industry. Okay, ensuring that ethical requirement are met including independence. Ni yang I beritahu tadi ni. Ni. This one. Okay, this area. Okay, ethical issue, ethical clearance and so on. Okay, establish the overall strategy in terms of scope, timing and direction, preparing detailed audit approach and making administrative decision on the staffing and budget. So this is in terms of resources. Okay, to accept the client also, you have to look at in terms of the resources. So one of the ethical issue kat sini pun mesti ada enough resources. Okay. Any question? Any question, class? Do you clear the process of audit planning?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So now IAS 300.7, the auditor shall establish an overall audit strategy that sets the scope, timing and direction of the audit. So here some example of establishment of audit strategy. Okay, so you have the scope, okay, characteristic of the engagement, okay, which define its scope. So this is the scope. Okay, and then this is the timing. Second one is the timing. Third one is the direction. Okay, C, D and E. Okay, I want you to read example of each of the audit strategy. So the scope, timing and the direction. Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, read. Example of each audit strategy. Okay, you can refer to your book also.
Timing. This is direction. Direction, I don't think. What was the direction? Direction? Oh, faham? Menuju ke mana? Faham? Faham?
Okay, any question? Do you have any question? Okay, for A. Any question for A? Class? Any question for B, C, D and E? Fitri, ada soalan?
For now tak ada madam.
For now, no question. Anyone have a question? Do you clear all the thing?
Sebenarnya saya ada question. Nanti scope dengan timing dan direction ni mana? Direction tu dengan mana the resource
Afika, Asfa,
your scope tu?
any question?
Nanti saya ni.
No. Okay.
Madam.
Okay, clear eh? So all clear? Okay, all clear. Baca ke tak baca ni? Okay, so the audit strategy set out. So you baca. Okay, good. The resources to deploy for specific audit area. So yang macam I cerita tadi lah, resources, experience team manager for high risk area. And then involvement of expert. So you have determined, okay, you have determined in the audit, so which one is the high risk area. So masa you buat risk assessment, kan, betul? Okay, high risk area and high risk area, low risk area, and you already put a maturity level on that. So for the high risk area, so means you have to set a strategy to have the experienced staff. Okay, maybe high risk area should be covered by senior auditor. Okay, low risk area by the junior auditor. Okay. The amount of resources to allocate to specific audit area, number of team members assigned, and then when these resources are deployed, so masa bila, interim ke, masa nak buat cut off ke. So ingat masa kita buat transaction objective, so you have cut off objective. Do you remember cut off objective?
Apa tu?
Anyone can share to me what is the cut off objective?
Cut off objective.
What is the meaning of cut off, or what is the objective for cut off?
Transaction recorded in correct accounting period.
Yeah, good, Yasmin. Transaction recorded at the correct accounting period. Okay, so that is cut off.
Sebiji dah benda.
Okay, so to perform the cut off test, so you have to take few sample before and few sample after the period of you want to test. So you may need the experienced staff, or how many staff you want to allocate. So that is the meaning of resources deployed. Okay, how resources are to be managed, directed and supervised. So who are going to supervise? Okay, is it the senior ataupun the audit manager? Okay, so you have to set in the audit strategy. Okay, that's why they determine the scope, nature, timing and resources necessary to perform the engagement. So this one. Okay, and then for the audit plan, okay, audit plan, auditor should develop an audit plan for an audit to reduce the audit risk. Yang ni saya dah cerita tadi lah, to an acceptable low level. So you have a description of nature, timing and extent of plan risk assessment procedure, and description of nature, timing and extent of plan further audit procedure. Ni risk assessment procedure and audit procedure kat sini tadi. So risk assessment procedure and detail procedure kat sini. Okay, audit planning dengan audit strategy. So risk assessment procedure dengan audit procedure. Okay, and any other procedures required for engagement to comply with the ISA. So in the audit plan, since you determine the nature, timing and extent, okay, of audit procedure, so you must focus on the
Tapi tak
procedure, okay, in terms of risk assessment and further audit procedure. Okay, example, timetable of plan audit work. So audit work, so you kena siapkan dekat sini timetable of the plan audit work. So how long you want to perform? Okay, maybe you will get for the final audit. This is the final audit lah. Okay, this is the end of year end. So you need to you normally the audit the company will give 1 month to settle off the account. So you will receive your financial statement. Okay, first off
Tapi kalau aku masuk je lah.
okay, you will receive your financial statement,
Masuk ni.
okay, on the 1st February 2021. So start from here, okay, you have to focus your audit. Okay, so okay, you must have a timetable of plan audit work, allocation of work to the audit team members, audit procedure for each major account, and maturity for the financial statement as a whole and performance maturity. So this one you put in the audit plan.
Ataupun sebelum aku turun aku masuk dulu.
Okay, these are the example. Okay, example for the NCA. Okay, the procedure. Okay, this is the audit procedure that you are going to look at. So later, this procedure you have to perform. Okay, so inspect a sample of asset. So this is the verb.
Oh, ada lah atas ni.
Okay, that are recorded in the non-current asset register. So where you want to get the sample of asset, you get it in the non-current asset register. So the noun is non-current asset register. Okay, so you ada perbuatan, you ada benda yang you nak buat. Okay, so inspect a sample of the recorded the sample of asset that are recorded in the non-current asset. Okay, to achieve what? To achieve the existence. Okay, so it must have the objective. So verb, noun and objective. So this is the objective, existence. So NCA, you know the NCA is come under transaction. NCA is come under balances. Okay, it's come under balances. Okay.
Sorry, weh.
So balances. So you must meet the balance related objective. So one of the objective is existence. So what should you do? Okay, you have to perform audit sampling.
Audit sampling.
Okay. So all asset costing more than 10,000 plus another 10 others chosen sample randomly. Okay, so all asset costing more than 10,000. So what sample you are going to choose? All asset that figure more than $10,000. Okay, so you already put this is your maturity level. Okay, so 10,000 plus 10 other chosen randomly. Okay, so the reference is under document B6. Okay, so that's the example on the audit plan. Audit plan, So the second one, same objective, examine invoices, Department of Transport, roadworthiness certificates and other independent
Sana.
documentary record
Sana.
to assets existence. So examine invoices. So this is also the verb. Verb, examine. Okay, what you are going to examine, invoice. So these are all the documents. So it's the noun. And this is the objective. So in your sentence of the procedure, it must contain the verb, the nouns and the objective. And the nouns normally goes to the documents and report. Okay? So this, I want you to look carefully because you have to demonstrate your own audit procedure in the exam. So again here, you have to check all asset costing more than 10,000 plus 10 others chosen randomly. So this is B7. So that document must stated in document B7 in the audit. Okay. The third one, examine invoices for smaller furniture and equipment addition to see if any have been incorrectly capitalized. Incorrectly capitalized on the existence. So again, verb, noun and objective. So this one, that
Oh, stop.
so 20 addition smaller amount. Okay, sebab dia nak check on the smaller amount, sebab nak tengok whether that smaller furniture amount has been correctly capitalized or not correctly capitalized. Okay, document B8. So every document must have a different reference. Okay, any question on that?
Yang itu maternity ke madam?
Yang mana Syafina?
Kurang 1,000.
Yang ni kurang 1,000, bukan? Dia consider this is a smaller furniture. So the smaller furniture ni dia ambil dia based on their judgement, okay, dia guna smaller is 1,000.
Boleh tak?
Okay.
Boleh tak? Aku nak start.
Dia bukan maturity level, bukan.
Kalau medicine tak sama apa.
Aku dengar untuk contoh.
So yang ni you akan buat, tapi kita belajar teori lah. So macam ni lah prosedur dia yang you akan buat. So you first as a direction must put it in the audit planning.
Kalau betul aku tahu.
Letak dalam audit planning. So you wanna break?
Boleh lah madam.
5 minute break?
Tak boleh.
Kopi awal sana. Kau tak kena break lah.
Aku lupa madam suruh break. Saya madam kan dan tu.